We'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today is a recovery day for me. I've been sick with that flu, and it's a feeding day for the animals, and I'm trying to muster up the energy to do my water changes and get the animals over here fed, and then take food over to the other house and feed the other animals. And in my downtime, I've been doing a lot of thinking. I need to start being maybe a little bit more realistic with my goals and maybe make some changes and prioritize things, because yeah, maybe I'm getting sick because I'm just overwhelmed. I am one of those people that will wake up in the middle of the night thinking about my next day's projects, and when I have so many of them, you can imagine I'm probably waking up quite a bit, and it's all these projects are in my thoughts, and I'm losing sleep over it. So let me show you what things I'm going to prioritize and what things we're working on first. And as soon as I turned the camera off, I realized that I said we're going to prioritize. We're going to figure out which things we're going to prioritize and what things we're going to do first. That's Dayquil talking. So the baby room. Obviously, it's something that I really want to get done sooner than later, but it may be a winter project and not a pre-winter project. Already, the temperatures at night have been, I think, 73. And when I look into the next couple weeks, I see 71 in like 2 weeks, which is real close to getting into the 60s. I already have started running their heat lamps 24 hours, which, I mean, it's a bigger electric bill. Being in an insulated room, the room would retain the heat. It would cool off a little bit at night, but not cool. So I need to start looking for windows, maybe like 3x5s or 1 5x7. If I can get 3 5x7s, that would be awesome. Or 6 3x5s or something like that, because I want a lot of natural light in this room. And then I need to find either an impact glass sliding door, and again, this would be impact as well for security reasons. An impact sliding glass door that will security, but I can also roll large cages out of that into this area, and then this will be a double screen door. So an active and a passive screen door that I could open up and roll cages onto the driveway to get natural sun, because I would like to have my garage. So I'm starting to talk about the long solution. Remember, we're here about the priority things. So the problem is these guys on the front porch. I think the solution is these storage racks that I have these sitting on. These are actually my storage racks that are intended for storage in my garage, and I'm using half a unit to hold up those aquariums. I think I'm going to build a wooden rolling rack that will have 2 aquariums at about waist height, and so 2 of them side by side. I can get rid of the paper divider. I can actually have some wood, the scrap wood that my mom is working on currently. I can use and create these dividers, the racks themselves, put them on wheels, and that way I could transfer them over. Each rack would hold 2 aquariums. I can't imagine that I will need more than 4, that I'll have more than 4 clutches working at the same time. And actually, I mean, I'm down to 3 het black dragons and 2 black dragons, and then I don't have any other babies to sell for a while. The other aquariums have the white throats, which are going to be moving into a screened enclosure, and then the baby dumerals that are going to move into a screened enclosure. They are going to be moved into these enclosures that have my Guru sulfur mixes, and there's 2 hold back black dragons in there, and they will all move individually into those cages that we were working on. This is the only one done, so priority item number 2 after the rolling shelves is to get the 6 of these done. So there's 5 more of these that I need to get done. I just noticed, look, screw there, there was a knot and it allowed that to come up, so we need to get another screw on that sucker, and that'll happen. So all of these enclosures will be able to pack into this garage area. There's no reason why my garbage can needs to be in here. There's a sidewalk on the side of the house. I just got to put a bungee cord on it so a raccoon can't get into it. Inversion tables, some of the moving stuff can clear out of this area. We're gonna have to fit the albino enclosure, and then I guess the rolling racks for the babies. See, that's again why it needs to be rolling, is because I need to be able to pull them out of the way if I need to get at fishing, camping stuff that's on these shelves. And then the other screen enclosures will roll in here and then be able to roll out onto the driveway to get sun during the day. So finishing those other 5 medium-sized enclosures is the next thing. All right, now let's walk back to the backyard, because that's the other. All right, well, we're walking out here, and I said I'm gonna clear that stuff out of the garage. I've got my weight bench in there. You know, when I started this YouTube channel, I was starting to hit the gym again, and it felt really good. I was starting to feel like myself again. And then I started this project and quit the gym because I just didn't have the time, and can't stand it. I think I'm gonna start getting into some sort of regimen. I'll move that into my office and get some sort of workout going on again. And all right, so now we're back out in the cages. I still need to finish these 3 cages. You guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about finishing these 3 cages. Those are the last 3 animals that are in outdoor enclosures at the other property, and then I could demo the rest of that row and be done. I can get my buddy Ruben out there to, with his bobcat, get all the rest of that concrete off the ground, and we'll grade that out and sod that, and you know, that could be something that's stopping the other property from selling. You know, some people maybe can't see past all of those reptile cages, which to us is pretty normal. To them, it might be the craziest thing in the world. So I need to finish that and get those last couple animals over, and then you would think that I would continue finishing this row. I can get the doors on this, but here's another problem. Because I'm me, and I will keep taking on more and more, I got an offer for a package of animals, and I think it's between 5 and 7 black throats and white throats, and I do need another female black throat. I have just Jane, who's, in reality, Jane she's as old as John. She's 14 years old. You know, she mated that last time, and I think I was late on putting them together, and we got all those slugs, but that could be the every time with her because of her age. I don't know. It seems like what I'm hearing more is that the younger rock monitors are breeding better than the older animals, and that could be true, and that could be a lot of hearsay. I feel like we get a lot of hearsay in this industry. A lot of repeated information and not actual knowledge. And I'm not trying to ruffle anyone's feathers, but I just see a lot of stuff that's just repetitive, and where did it even start from? It could be 100% true. So I'm not arguing it. I'm just saying, I don't believe everything I hear. I believe what makes sense, and then I like to figure things out on my own. Even if I have no success from these animals breeding, I'm okay with that too. Part of my enjoyment is figuring it out. So I can keep Blackbeard and Jane together in this enclosure, and I could move a temporary lay box in here for her. Oh, look, he's looking at my hands. He's like, you got some food? She still needs to gain her weight back. She's still, I mean, she's ready for a feed. She's just going through a nice shed. But the weight is back on her hips. I do need to weed whack in here. That is just like this lawn. Every 4 to 5 days. It's insane right now. That's going to be a full-time job with all these enclosures. Weed whacking. I think every day I'll have to do another row. I'm going to have some chores out here. I could probably put a pair of animals in here, and I could probably put a pair of animals in here, which means I really only need to bust butt and get 3 more enclosures done. But if I got 3 more enclosures done, one, I have to get past this big one. 3, which, let's see, if I put a pair in there and a pair in that front one, 1, 2, 3. Wow, that still works out. So I would have to get those done to here. So there's that. I have 3 weeks to get that completed. There's no way I can get sick again. So if I don't get sick again, all that's possible. Now here's the other thing on top of all that. We've rushed and got these guys in here. Their hide boxes don't have the flaps. They don't have the heat pads on the bottom. They don't have the heat pads on the roof. And I'm supposed to put another 3/4 inch piece of plywood because I want the top to be where I can lift it up. And I'll show you, I'll put a strip of wood for rigidity so the top doesn't warp, but having it 2 pieces of plywood thick will insulate it better and stop it from warping, and that other piece of wood will. And I have the flaps and everything to put on the entrances. So I need to get these sealed up and ready for winter, because I need these animals to start choosing their hide boxes at night and not sleeping in the corner or in their lay boxes. So these females that are not cycling and not looking to lay, I need to start boarding up their lay boxes. And oh man, I hope it stays there. I have not seen one of these in Florida in so long. They used to be everywhere at my other house. Oh, please stay up. Man, it went away. We have these really beautiful black and gold shiny skinks here in Florida. Let's see if it's like, oh, it is. Oh no, it ran into Pinky's enclosure. It was right there and just ran behind her enclosure. I have not seen one in so long. I will get you guys a video and a picture of one of those soon. If they're here, I'll find it again. So cool to see. And you know, a lot of those lizards do so well in these big monitor enclosures because the food and the poop and stuff brings the flies, and all these little anoles and everything live off of that, and the big monitors don't even mess with the anoles. So it becomes another ecosystem for some of the native wildlife, where they're protected from the birds. That's their biggest enemies, birds and raccoons and possums and things like that. Oh, it's back out. I wonder if I shouldn't take my camera out and try and get a... All right, I got a photo of that skink. It came back out. It's actually still out right now, but Hopefully Tom can add that photo in there so you guys can see. So I need to do this to all of the hide boxes. Now, saying that I'm going to finish the electrical work before winter is not realistic. And what I'm going to have to do, the same as what I did on the other enclosures, is probably start with extension cords and you know, cut extension cords and put new ends on them. So a whole bunch of short jumps and frankly dangerous extension cords, but do it just to get myself initially started, and then start adding all the gray pipe. And I can actually feed the first section with an extension cord and then start gray piping it. So I'm just saying to initially start it with extension cords and then quickly follow in behind and start getting all this wired up properly. At least these 2 rows, because again, this backbone feeds this side and that side. So there'll be 2 gray pipes working its way through here. The main feeds, I think, will come in there, and there'll be outlets facing this way out of boxes and outlets facing that way out of boxes. And then once they get to the end of the row, again, Dayquil, I'm sorry. Then we'll go to a flexible, not the metal flex conduit, but the exterior gray flexible conduit for exterior stuff, and jump over to the other row and then feed the back of that row, jump over this doorway to the back of this row and feed that row. But we're not touching anything in that row right now. We could put a roof on this enclosure and save us from finishing one. Really, that would be quite easy. I really just need to hang a 2x4 here and a 2x4 there, do 4 panels of roof screen, and I mean, I could say a lay box or not do a lay box and just get an animal in here. I could do that. Did you guys see that tree frog? It jumped and peed on me at the same time. So that's what I've got to get done. I am going to start cleaning waters and get these guys fed, and say hi to Lily. What are you doing, Lily? What are you doing? You okay? What are you doing? Oh, you're ready for food. I see you. I know. I'll get you some. You're very hungry. She's still gaining that weight back from laying the eggs, and she should be coming into a cycle again soon. So I'm waiting for her to close her eyes when Forrest tongue flicks her to know that door can be opened. But I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't been over here consistently enough to see that yet. And I may miss it, and I may let her lay unfertilized again. And you know, while we're on that subject, I'm so distracted. That guru female has been digging. Another tree frog. That tree frog is swimming around in that water. He jumped out of the door into the water. She has been digging like crazy. She's not in her hide box, right? No. She's been in her lay box, but I've been waiting to see. She's in there. I can't tell that she's cycling. She doesn't have any abnormal weight on her, so she's so secretive, it's too hard to see. We've got to wait till she gets used to us here and she's out more. The second thing is I would wait till this male gets more used to us and he's out more, because he'll also be an indicator that she's cycling when he's obsessed with the side of her cage. the sulfur female has been out quite a bit, and Alexander has knocked his plant over at the side. But in her cage, making sure she's not between the water and the wall, I don't see any crazy amount of digging. Let's see. But she has been out quite a bit. I don't know if you saw her or not. She's wrapped up into this corner right here. She does kind of have some weight on her. But I do need to visually see that. And unfortunately, I don't have my mobile cameras here yet to set in this female's enclosure. I would screw it down right here. You would face this female, and then I would be able to review her daily activity. If she keeps gravitating to his wall, she's laying in weird positions, I'd wait till it was obvious before I open this door. Otherwise, it's just not worth it for me. I'd rather her lay unfertilized than have animals hurting each other. All right, so I'm gonna get started with all the water cleaning. I don't think I'm weed whacking today. That's a tomorrow thing. I wonder which project should we start first. I think maybe tomorrow we'll jump on heat mats and flaps on some of the easy hide boxes, and then maybe we'll cut. I know we have a pile of the 2x4s. Ant crawling on my knee. Pile of the 2x4s to rip on the table saw to get those other 6 enclosures done. I think we should also get quickly, actually all of this stuff is quickly. Oh, and the one more thing, which I've talked about, but you know, it's getting closer and closer. You look as we're walking through here, this is all lumber we're using on the enclosures. Once that's done, this stuff will be cleaned up and gone. Like, all of this really is enclosure material, and this will all be cleaned up. 1 second, Mom. And this is material I unloaded from the trailer the other day. This goes onto those other piles. These are the 2x4s I need to rip for the small enclosures. But what I'm gonna show you out here is I need to build the walls onto this shop. And I know that sounds like a big project. It really isn't that big of a project. I just need to purchase an impact resistant door or a hurricane door for here. No window, know its size and opening. And then I just need to peel back the wood there, and I need to start doing concrete forms here. I only need to pour them like 5.5 inches high. That creates a stem wall, meaning if water ever flooded on this property, it hits that little stem wall and doesn't get inside my shop. Now, it could always come into my shop through the front, but no rainwater coming across the sidewalk will find its way in. Now, because we have these wood posts that are touching the ground, there is always that. I can caulk it up and do whatever I can to try and seal that up, but that part is what it is. I am not gonna touch the front of the shop yet, but if I can get that wall done and that wall done, I can get whatever shop shelving I need to get done, and I could frame out that wall, plywood it, tar paper it, not do the siding yet, but I can get shelving and I can keep the stuff inside my shop dry and use those walls for storage. Right now, the wind comes through and pushes the rain through, and rain is hitting stuff in the middle of this shop right now. So I can't bring over my toolboxes and stuff like that from the other property unless I want to fight them into the inside locked up storage. And then obviously when some money frees up, we'll get the proper roll up shop doors. And then once we know what sizes I require for that, then I can finish the front wall and back walls of this shop. But getting the side walls up is pretty imperative to to getting the rest of the stuff moved over from the other property. So those are all quick projects that I need done. Nothing to it but to do it. Okay, first day back to work after being sick. It's now the afternoon. My mom unloaded and swept out the entire trailer. It looks way better than the day before I filled it up. She's gotten all the lumber piled up. Obviously, this will all get moved into cleaner piles under cover later, but she either took all the screws and nails out of everything or just used the skill saw and cut the ugly end off of it. The thicker boards, the boards that are 1 1/8 inches to 1 inch thick, are all here, and the ones that are, I would say, 3/4 to 1 inch thick are over here in this pile. And these will be lay boxes, and actually we have another plan for some of this material right now. So today I didn't want to do too much because, you know, after you recover from a flu, you could do little to nothing and just get exhausted. So we made some plans. We went to Home Depot, we purchased lumber. I ran the table saw and I ripped all the 2x4s to do all of these new grow up cages, these startup cages for the young water monitors. Remember, we have 1 to finish and then 4 more to build. We ripped all the strips from 2x4s. That's 5 2x4s worth of strips there. So we have all those 2x2s, and we have the material sitting there for another project. Oh, and we cut the PVC board for the floors of the next 4 cages right there. If I could find my notebook, I know that it's right here. So basically, if you guys could picture this, these are wheels, but these are pockets right here where an aquarium can sit. These are those slatted boards on the sides and the back, and then a divider. So 1 aquarium will sit in here and 1 aquarium will sit in here. Because remember, we are going to put the babies in the garage more immediately. Instead of rushing to build that baby room before winter, I would rather do it right and find the right materials. I could cheap out and rush it and just replace and find windows, but I'd rather, if I'm gonna do it, why don't I put impact windows? If I could find used impact windows and get bigger windows in there and get more natural light, I'll just scour Facebook Marketplace until I find what I want used and do it that way, and then I'll have exactly what I want. So I'm gonna build these 2 rolling units. Now, they wouldn't need to be rolling in the baby room, but for now we're gonna put them in the garage, and I may put them in front of some other shelving so I can move them out of the way. Oh, and I don't know if I explained that well, but the slats on the sides, the divider and the back, you know, right now I have brown paper on the sides and back of those aquariums, and so they don't see anything, so they feel safe. They only see stuff from the front, and I'm keeping them at chest height, so they're not feeling vulnerable down on the floor. Right now I have 2 that are down on the floor and 2 that are chest height, and this way I'll have all of them at chest height. The stuff on the floor, I could put a Tupperware bin with spare light bulbs, and I could put something in that space or nothing in that space. Like I said, eventually, once it's a baby room, we'll probably put a 1x12 around that, and then we could use the bottom for storage. And that way, when babies are running around the room, they don't get into those areas. They can't climb up and get lost and you have to chase them around. I'd rather it be a place where something can walk around and not get into areas where I have to like hunt them. I'd rather it to be stress-free, you know me. So I think we're gonna end the day. My mom and I, we thawed out a shrimp. Yesterday I fed all the young monitors chopped up mice, and I chopped one up from the dumerals and they didn't eat the chopped up mouse. But I spoke to Aiden because I put a lot of crickets in there and they could be devouring the crickets, but I put so many that I can't really notice. You know, crickets sometimes just die and shrivel up and you don't really notice them in the mulch, or they're getting eaten. So I hadn't really seen them eating them, but I did see them eat the shrimp under his advice to use chopped up shrimp. So we're gonna chop up a shrimp and we're gonna go play with them a little bit and finish the day on that. And then tomorrow we're gonna build these shelves for the baby monitors. All right, so we have them in the tub with the water. And of course, it was in there with chopped up mouse in its aquarium. Didn't want anything to do with it. I put the chopped up shrimp and it is gobbling it down. And it's covered in calcium powder. This little guy's still swimming around. He hasn't realized the shrimp is there. I can't wait till we set up the Waterland tub to do this. I'm sorry, it's the evening, so the light isn't really the best.
Can we take this out?
Let's log out. Yeah, I can.
I get it.
Okay. And you guys have to know that my mom loves animals even more than me. So all of this is just as exciting for her. They're so funny. They really are. Just, to me, I'm so used to the water monitors and the rock monitors lately that they are a totally different monitor.
Well, he may not get any.
If you bring your arm in and you just bring...
That's what I thought.
Well,
I might...
The other arm, probably. Yeah, because it'll probably come and get up on your hand. Yeah, so you don't come from above, just kind of leave it there. It'll do its lap again.
Okay.
Because if my arm comes from away, oh look, I think
he's
he smells the shrimp, maybe. Or no, he's gonna go right back to swimming. So pretty.
Missing out.
Well, there's more shrimp. I definitely do love the shrimp. I'm not even paying attention to the camera like a lot of the other monitors. That was funny. He's like, nope, I don't want to be handled. Let's see if he checks out the shrimp. He crawls across the land. He's smelling it. He's like, wait a second, what do you got? Oh. He bit onto the other one because he smelled the shrimp.
Yeah.
Not good. And that'll happen with babies. They're still learning. Definitely smelled what it liked. Just didn't realize.
Oh wait, look, I think it smells the shrimp that fell.
It smells it in the water, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, watch this, guys. It really does smell that in the water. Wow. is trying to track where that smell is coming from. It's by his foot right now. He's tongue flicking and tracking it. He's gonna find it. I think he's gonna find it. This little guy, so cute. Well, you may have to put your hand to get it to climb on your hand so it doesn't go up higher. No? I know I can't do anything. There we go. It's gonna walk back down to the water. Oh, or back to its shrimp. Too cute. Well, that's what my mom and I are gonna do to finish our day. We'll play with these guys a little bit, and we'll get some proper shelves built for these aquariums tomorrow. All right, so I'd like to say it was the next morning, but it's actually 2 days later. From pushing it the other day, I felt exhausted again yesterday. So I was like, all right, I'm not pushing it. I sanded a bunch of the cabinetry doors for the kitchen and went inside the AC and painted cabinetry, which is not what I need to do right now, but I guess it's what my body needed to do right now. So I feel better this morning. My energy feels all right. So I guess we're gonna get started on the aquarium shelving. And again, I have all my wood already piled up. I'm gonna get the first one roughed out because there is some figuring I have to do while I get it started, and maybe we'll get a time lapse on the second. Okay, we have the first unit done, but it's not sanded or stained. But this is basically what I was talking about. I can put a 36-inch wide aquarium in there. I don't have to have the brown paper on the sides anymore. We used all this reclaimed wood. This stuff, I think initially we're just gonna get them on these shelves and get them in the garage. And later on, we will come and do a quick sand on all my corners and just clean everything up, get the stamps off the wood, and then we'll put that dark stain on at least all the new pine, if not everything. I mean, I love the patina on this wood right now, but that pine needs to get hit. It's funny. My mom and I both agree that the new lumber is the eyesore. The old reclaimed lumber is what's attractive to us on this shelf unit. But it's easy to roll. It's sturdy. And we have most of all the lumber sitting on the ground to build the next one. I did not measure out the back pieces, or I used that heavier fence board. You see, this one is like 1 1/8 1/4 inch, whereas these fence boards are 3/4 inch. And obviously when they weather, sometimes they're thinner yet. But they're still great, sturdy boards. I mean, even with the holes and stuff in them, these things are more than good for what we're using them for. So I'll leave that unit there, and I think I'm gonna set us up for a time lapse, and we'll get this other frame together. All right, we've got the two, I don't know what we want to call them, aquarium carts, aquarium racks. Now, you guys know, and really in the reptile industry, it's somewhat controversial that I start my monitors off in aquariums. I like it for the ease of crickets. Now, obviously, I can have a front opening aquarium and still start them in crickets, but if you have a large clutch of jumpy little monitors, excitable when the food is introduced or something like that, to me, opening from the front and trying to get a food tray or water out when I have all these excitable animals. No, obviously not all clutches are excitable. Some are actually very calm, but the ones that are excitable, the front opening aquarium is a problem for me. Could be a problem for me. I can always put a 1/4 by 1/4 screen front cage in here to fit this same space, and the aquariums can always be stored on some shop shelving or whatever. So I can put whatever small cage, I just get them at the right height for them feeling a little more safe and secure, and they're movable. So we have the 2 units done, and let's get some babies started in them. All right, my mom and I moved the aquariums, oh, hey Pete, off the front porch. Gonna have to start scouring for some impact windows. 3 large windows and an impact sliding door or impact French doors for here. And then we can start on this room. So it's not done this winter. It's not done. I didn't want to cram all these animals into my garage. But right now the garage is insulated, the front porch isn't. So we've got them moved in. So without stressing these guys out too much, these are the 2 black dragons that I still have for sale. And you can see the totally different demeanor. These are my het black dragons. There's a chunky male in the water right next to that one female. I'm gonna hold back. She eats, but she has never really put on any significant weight. So I don't know what's going on with her. She's healthy and active and everything. She's just never had a full belly. And all the other lizards are growing right past her. We have the white throats in here. They just had a big feed. Let's see if we can't see them in their hide. Now I will get back to you guys on this litter because I definitely have feedback, but I want to speak to Joe again. There's little pistols. So there's the 3 of them. You can see it's the male up front, the chunkiest of the 3. Oh, he's definitely growing. All 3 of them had a big feed. Just a pile of white throats. I'll have to wait till they move around before I put their hide back. I don't want to squish them with it. Here, maybe I can get it as close to as possible. Ooh. There you go. That's as good as I can get it. Sorry, guys. And the next one over is the dumerals. And I betcha they're both underneath that piece of wood. So, I mean, this is not where they're gonna stay. Actually, here in the garage is where the albinos are gonna go. So I believe in 2 days' time, I'm picking them up to move them over here. They'll go there. So the reason why these are on wheels, because they wouldn't need to be on wheels on the front porch, is I will probably winter them in front of my fishing tackle And you know, I haven't moved all my snorkeling stuff and whatever, but I'm gonna have all my stuff on these shelves here. And now that I took them off of those other 2 racks, I have another shelf unit to build right in front of this door. I will never use this door. I'll build 1 more rack right there and have maximum storage for myself. That's gonna get us going a little bit better. I believe the next video is going to be finishing the other 5 of these so we can separate. Look, one of the Guru sulfurs is out. Let's see if we can't get a good shot of him. He is a chunk. Oof. Fat belly on him. Yeah, get the black dragon separated. I can't wait to do that. I still don't have my energy up. Like, I still am dragging. If I stop for a water break, it's hard for me to get back up and start moving again. So I don't want to push it too much. I think I'm going to jump on the lawnmower and cut the grass, skip weed whacking, and eat dinner, and then maybe relax. I thought I was going to sand cabinetry and paint cabinetry tonight, and that's just not going to happen. All right, guys, until next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.